Yo, yo.
Hey, Wooly.
Yeah.
As you can probably see, I'm holding in my arms a significantly deformed Chinese canine. And I would ask you if you could answer me a simple question.
Shoot.
Is this an Xbox?
That is, in fact, an Xbox.
Are you an Xbox, Caboose?
That is
wow.
That can be defined as an Xbox.
He is an Xbox.
And he is AI powered.
Oh my God.
So
not this one.
So he is more Xbox than ever before. I'll tell you what.
I don't think that dog is powered by intelligence, artificial or otherwise.
Oh boy. Saddest ending. Xbox. Damn.
Oh.
That's over.
That is over, man.
Mega 4 undefeated. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess the writing on the wall for Microsoft struggles with Xbox has been there, and Phil Spencer stepping down this week was not something that surprised many people.
No, because he has done a really bad job.
But the thought was that Sarah Bond, who was the Xbox president, was going to step in to fill the shoes.
She's up and coming, right? She's got ideas.
Like, this is an Xbox, and this too is an Xbox.
Found that out yesterday, that this is an Xbox ad campaign.
That was her.
Entirely Sarah Bond's baby.
That was hers.
Pushed obsessively against all internal criticism and widespread internal hatred.
Yes,
of the messaging.
People at the Microsoft, people down at the Tribe were not happy with the messaging of this too is an Xbox.
I think I saw it described as catastrophically brand damaging.
Because the idea is it's just all you're trying to do is push mobile, right? You're just trying to push mobile, but in the process, you're making it so that the hardware is meaningless and does need to exist, and all the people working on the hardware are doing so ultimately for no reason.
Hey, did you read the whole article I sent you?
I did, and the other stuff.
The funniest detail about that is, like, this is an Xbox, is that's supposed to push like the phone Xbox store experience that doesn't exist.
That did not exist. Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
It was early. They pushed the marketing early for a product that was not rolled out yet. So listen, this is like we've been watching this happen with Microsoft, and it's been insanely flying off the rails for a long time now. Not just because of the future, but also just everything with the Xbox related, and it is really becoming clearly more and more of a situation with video games in general, as the waters are getting muddied across the board, as they do with any tech industry, right? The closer you are to putting out a thing that plays the video game, the more likely you are to just take the generation and exist and win.
So I remember,
by just be the thing that plays the game. And that's it. Just land there, and I think it'll be okay. While everybody else tries to fucking do cartwheels and do tricks on it.
I remember back in like 2012 or 2013, Matt and I did a little like podcast for like a newspaper, I think it was. And I described the video game industry as an industry of failure, and that every company in the games business is constantly making catastrophic failures. And the only thing you have to do is not have a failure that sinks your company, and you get to have all the money for like a 4 or 5 year period.
Don't trip over your dick.
And
yep.
I can't believe that, like, we just watched that happen like 15 times in a row over a 20-year period.
Yeah,
like, genuinely unbelievable.
Well, because the thing is, you're also in an industry, and you're in a C-suite of an industry where, like, the bullets that are whizzing by are people that are trying to rush to be like, I've got the future. I know how I can steer this ship, and I have a random ass direction that nobody asked for that I think we're going to pivot into, because up and coming tech startups always kind of have this disruptive quality about them. So if every generation of console can be disruptive in some way, then we can get all the money, you know?
So like there's this massive long-term thing of like, you'd see these C-suite people be like, think about the disruption that TV did to radio, and you know,
Kill the radio
and then
star.
the internet did to television, right? And you're like, yeah, that was absolutely like massive economic like inversions of existing paradigms, right? You know, the car versus the horse-drawn carriage, right? The problem with that is that ever since the iPhone, and the iPhone was like the smartphone was like the last big thing. Like wow. Literally every single year, there is something that is coming out to be the disrupting, I'm the new big thing. And it's like, bro, between the internet and the television was like 60 fucking years.
Yeah.
And between the advent of the popular use of the internet and the iPhone, decade minimum. I think it was maybe 15 years before the smartphone became totally ubiquitous, right? Everybody's trying to get the new next big thing out every year, and they're always not the next big thing. And everybody needs to be the first there.
And
I need to be first so I can own the monopoly. Like
yes.
iPhone.
Yes.
I don't say smartphone.
Absolutely.
I don't have an iPhone, and I said iPhone instead of smartphone first.
Yep. But not only do you have to be first, right? You have to be proprietary, and if possible, you have to corner the market in such a way where, like, it's way harder to like make the new thing that doesn't exist and solve the problem that people didn't know they were having.
You need to solve the problem people don't know they have.
Right. And so you have to put walls up and make things more annoying by forcing people to do things in a way that is like, well, you're offering the service to the problem that you actually created, right? Cutting things into pieces, restricting it in different ways, etc., as opposed to any one of those things that comes along and is like, oh yeah, this is just a analog replacement for that. You know, it is. So Xbox, to finish the story, because we like
we get distracted.
What ended up happening was so Sarah Bond, who people thought was going to step in to replace Phil Spencer, steps down as well.
She's out.
And basically left their notes saying that it seems that the direction things are going in is like terminal for Xbox, more or less. And what Microsoft did was they have the new head of Xbox's Asha Sharma, who is an AI executive. From Microsoft. So in her sort of opening terms,
work over at Meta.
Like, we believe in creators and not just putting out AI slop. So she used the words AI
quote,
slop, you know.
Okay.
But you have all that. But like the department you're pulling the person from. So that says everything you need to know, of course. And then there's the part of it where, like, messaging wise, and this always happens with how messy it is, but it's like Sarah Bond's like letter or thing went up like hours after putting out promotional material. Like, there's a whole thing where it seemed like this was supposed to happen slowly, and then in the course of 24 hours, it on Monday, exploded.
IGN got the story early, so they just panicked and did all that shit on Friday. But then there was still like automated posts coming out that Friday. It was fucking messy.
So all this to say, if you're just cutting through the CEO speak and bullshit and just getting to the brass tacks of it, it seems like Xbox is just going to pivot into some sort of extreme AI based brand, whether that comes down to some sort of full, like, because I don't know what you do with the existing services to incorporate it, but you have to do something to make the shareholders happy. And I know that trying to have a game that is generated that people can play that formed out of absolutely nothing is currently being tested. We know that's a thing.
that shit is so fucking far away. It's like,
but if you can convince people to pay money for it now, then it's not far away, is it, Pat?
So I follow this AI stuff and somewhat regularly. And the baby, in fact, walked up to our babysitter and said, "Mommy talk about the ghoul and Dad talk about AI," which is like, all right, you don't have to read us to filth like that, little man.
That is
brutal.
That's soul core.
Yeah. But one of the things that's been kicking around for a little bit is that the transistor and microchip limit and energy draw requirements to hit the goals that AI requires for some of the generation that you're describing for, like, say, a full-blown video game probably exceed the total energy output of, like, the sun. Yes. Like it's just like engineers, not computer engineers, but engineers are like just looking at like the computational like heat transfer math, and they're like, there's no way you could ever build this on Earth.
But Pat, can I get your money out of your pocket?
No.
Before, okay, maybe not you. But if I can get the money out of someone's pocket before the problem you described hits them in the face.
Okay, what if instead of getting money out of their pocket, you get the confidence in increased valuation out of the magic space that the stock market uses to create fake money?
Bitch, I'm pulling rugs. What don't you understand here? We are a rug pulling corporation, and the latest rug is this entire fucking industry, and we are pulling it and we are running. Okay, if we can cash the fuck out before anyone has to pay the consequences that's like connected to what I'm doing here, then we get the money and bounce. It's so, we've been doing this in crypto, we're gonna do it here too, right?
I have been doing some refresher courses this morning on the history of Xbox, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of large scale companies in the games business that have made like cataclysmic errors, right? I think the Wii U, from like its core concept of this core concept of look up, look down, look up, look down, being like physically unpleasant. It actually has like memories of the Virtual Boy of like, this isn't a thing people actually want to physically do, right? I think of VR headsets making you sick. I think of the Cell engine, right? And the overimportance of the Blu-ray player, yada, yada, right? I think Sony maybe not spending as much as they could have in network security at any point in the fucking console's life cycle, right? These are big mistakes. But Xbox management has been absolutely astonishingly terrible from day one of that entire thing. Almost every turning point that Xbox as a brand / company could have made at any point that would have like really like done a big service to turn that ship around was the wrong move.
But because the 360 era existed and they were the default in that era, it feels fucking weird because instead of having this continuous failure, there was a moment where they had it.
This is a shining beacon.
And then dropped it immediately after and never picked it back up. Right?
Really good
Sony misstepped, and there was a moment where they legitimately had it.
So someone in the chat said the 360 feels where is it? I just saw it. Well, it's gone. Anyway, the 360 feels like a miracle in hindsight, like you were saying, like, oh my God, how'd they bang it out? But I think the important thing to look back at that is that the 360 era, with Wii and PS3, was a fake miracle. It was a sham. And that is the beginning. That is the second major failure of Xbox, because they knew that those
ROD?
boxes had a 100% failure rate.
Yeah.
They knew that it was going to happen and it was going to cost them crazy dollars to fix.
But were they on the map by the time that problem happened? Were they making
they
money?
were on the
And
map.
were they in your house by the time that problem happened?
They were on the map and they were in your house, and they said, you know what? That was like a calculated plan where they're like, these things are going to fail. But if they do well, we can cash out, and they spent $1 billion fixing people's rings, but we'll still be in the house.
You're there.
And people will have, so we'll take the hit. And that was a cataclysmic mistake. They should have delayed a year and then had the fucking thing not die. But it was at least on purpose, right? Like, that was a thing they did knowing. Them denying console exclusivity for Grand Theft Auto and Resident Evil 4 at the very, very beginning of the Xbox life cycle, that could have, we would be wearing Xbox shirts right now.
It would be a different world, of course.
It would be a different world.
It's the FF7 on Nintendo moment. Yeah, always. What I will say is like a lasting legacy is the shape of their controller persists and has become a norm, right? The PlayStation controller has been around for a long time now. That's in there, but like the Xbox controller is still something that people fuck with and use as a thing you're connecting to your computer. And every time you're seeing other controllers, whether it be a Nintendo Switch Pro controller or other consoles coming out, they're basing it on that shape now, you know?
But before I forget, Genshin Impact in every Hoyo game would have changed the course of every freemium title in the world if it had been on Xbox. You've got so we had Bomber and Peter Moore. Bomber, who had a fucking team so intellectually bankrupt they couldn't come up with a better name than the Direct Xbox.
Yeah. and then they were afraid to have a number that was inferior to the PlayStation 3. So they had to put 360 instead of Xbox 2.
Yeah. Moore oversaw the creation and management of the Kinect, which was just a complete boondoggle. Then we moved to Matric, which almost killed the whole fucking endeavor with the online DRM fucking nonsense. Moving over to Spencer and I forget her name. We just talked about it. It was the lady, she just left.
Bond.
Spencer and Bond were like, you know what we should do? We should tell people. Oh, Kinect was Matric. Oh, cool. We should tell people they don't need to buy an Xbox and then put all of our games on other platforms, and that will break it. Oh yeah.
You do, like from you don't own the game you bought and the disc means nothing,
to the console doesn't own the game that you want.
And like, I said this before, but it feels a little bit, there's moments where it felt like, hey guys, hey Sony, Nintendo, come on, why don't we do this whole all together thing? Come on. I'm gonna start walking this way. Who's coming with me? Anyone? Come on.
And it worked. Crossplay is a thing.
Crossplay, sure, but beyond that idea, the thought that Xbox can become any console, and hopefully, if the competitors agree, then PlayStation and Nintendo's can be anything as well, and together we will all just become PCs.
I think it's so this is a position from the guy who shows up to the key party with no wife. I'll still put my keys in, and then everyone's like, "Get the fuck out, Bill."
Yeah. Look, it just, I guess the idea here is whatever direction swerves, whatever ship steering we see from this, even if there's the direct quote says no AI slop, even if it says this, that, whatever, it's like no. The person you put there has a background coming from the thing that is in the process of forcing everyone at Microsoft to use AI constantly, the thing that's firing the most people. Like, you can't just bark a couple of words out in a public statement and then pretend that like your resume doesn't say what it does. So
I'm just like fixated on like the idea of like walking up to a Nintendo executive and like, how about Mario on Xbox? And like just seeing like Yamauchi's ghost just materialize with a fucking sword. Like Nintendo's actually been incredibly clear
like a fucking
that they would
Ghostbusters
rather
demon.
go bankrupt
Yes.
than put Nintendo games on other consoles.
From years ago, yeah. I can see a world where you go to the store and you buy an Xbox, and what you're buying is a controller that, oh, are you frozen? You might be frozen. Oh boy. Well, there we are again. Thank you. Thanks, Peter Thiel. We appreciate it. Hold on a moment as we try to find our Pat. Thank you, Palantir. Thank you, Persona. Big fan of what you got going on over there. Let's see. We're still struggling to connect over here. Not sure what's going on. Gonna take a second. Yeah. Yeah, Persona. Taking over. Not the Persona you like, everybody. Apparently, new Twitch partners are also being forced to use it, so that's a good time. Good stuff. Hey. Peter, are you disrupting the call? That's not cool, Pete. Come on. Okay. Looks like we're having a more than just a regular issue here. So 1 second. I'm going to be right back, and we'll try to fix what's going on. God damn it, Pete. There we are. Thanks, Peter. Yeah.
God damn, Peter. You talk shit about him and he immediately appeared.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he's there.
Oh, I can't see you.
Well, that's not good at all.
I'm just looking at me now.
Well, I see you.
How come I can't see you?
I don't know.
You're just a logo.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
You're just a talking logo now.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
I'm actually being backlit by the orange.
You are being backlit by the orange. That is odd. Okay. Well, what's going on here?
I love the internet.
There
you are.
Okay, I see what happened. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think your call was audio call, and then you had your video, and then it turned
welcome back.
Video off. All right, there we are. We're good. All right, so yes, Peter Thiel will be in the tubes disrupting us from here on out.
I don't like that.
His persona is truly the bane of our calls from here on out. However, I was in the middle of saying I can see a future where you just go out and buy a controller that connects to Game Pass. Right? It's like you have an Xbox controller and it has a subscription to Game Pass on it, and that is where your money is going, and just cut out every step in between, because the earth you're standing on is already an Xbox.
Oh. Is that true?
Yeah, well.
Oh.
Don't call it Stadia. It's Xbox.
And oh my god. What a stupid fucking, what a bunch of stupid morons. What a bunch of idiots. Everyone in the C-suite is a bunch of dumb idiots.
What a predictable way for things to go. It's just, yes, time marches forward.
Why is it that anyone not in the C-suite can be like, wow, that's a really bad idea. You guys seem like you're fucking cooked if you keep doing this. And we get to go through like 3 years of, nah, man, it's working. And then a bunch of dick riders coming out, like freshly dicked up. Oh, nah, man, just believe in the tribe.
As I said earlier, doing tricks on it.
It's crazy style.
Like building up fucking Tony Hawk special meter, going, duh! With the type of tricks that you're doing on it. I would kill to to get feelers the way I used to back in the day, where you could kind of see what projects are going on internally at different studios, and like you can see, okay, what's your lead platform? How are you treating your ports? Are you even talking about Xbox? What are you talking about with that? Is it coming later? How is, when you're planning a project right now, how are you treating the Xbox version of that? It says a lot about.
I don't know anything about that, but I can tell you that somebody who works at Microsoft hit me up in my DMs last Friday and was just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who is staying. I don't know who is fired. I don't know if I kept my boss.
I mean, they're still there, and that's kind of impressive. Yeah. They're also, that rant was being watched over by a floating little drone that was scanning them. Yeah, that's that is some fucking writing on the wall. That is a doomed switch up. Not that.
So hey, the real news for Xbox fans is get ready for Sony to go back to being completely insane
with no challenge.
With no real competition.
With no competition. Ken, the power of Kutaragi rises once again.
You know what? If I worked in the Sony C-suite and I was foreseeing the public and gaming podcasts and all this, just spending weeks just shitting all over me for closing down Blue Point without ever having released a single game, I would be kissing my little Xbox shrine for managing to drown that out completely with how badly they're running their fucking show.
Oh my God. There's always another hand.